Well, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Big Mikey, what up? Good morning. Simply Solo, hello, good morning. Bree Sully, what up, Bree? What up, gangsta? How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday morning. How's my audio? I didn't want to have my volume up too loud. I didn't want to have my mic up too loud. Let me know how I sound. As long as my audio's good. We're going to get into it today. So we got up to page 23 in the last live. So we'll kick it off today, starting at page 24. And then we'll see how far we can go, starting at page 24. New Orleans lady, good morning. Hello, hello. Sound is good. Thanks, Donna. Welcome on in. Good morning. Figure I'll let some notifications click in. I know it's a Sunday morning. There's probably a lot of people live, but you know, we'll see what we can get through today. I figure I can do from 11:30 to like 1:30. Get through. I can start at page 24 and we'll see how far we get in those 2 hours. Hopefully that sounds good. Um, I usually try and keep it at an hour and a half. So maybe around 1:30, we're going to shut it down, but we'll see how far we can get. Um, I know some other people have gotten further, so it's totally fine. But yeah, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome on in. Hope you got your coffees, drinks, snacks, vapes, whatever it is you need to get yourself through a couple hours of reading docs. Let's get it cracking. We're not even 2 minutes in. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, mods. Welcome in, new members. Oh, by the way, before we even get started, right, I just want to say I got a thingy letting me know we have almost 30 new members from yesterday. So I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who became a new member and those of you who gifted memberships. This channel got like 30 new members yesterday, which is just outstanding. And I truly, truly appreciate the support. I really do. It's amazing. So just wanted to say quick shout out to every single one of you who gifted memberships. And to those of you who got a membership, if it was gifted, just remember to say a thank you. I don't know who gifted them. I think P Fox, Meg P, Krista Marie, and there was someone else. So to everybody who, you know, gifted out those memberships yesterday, thank you so very much. So just wanted to say that. Yeah. Thank you, Bree Sully. Thank you, darling. Yeah. I truly appreciate it. I couldn't believe it. There were like 30 memberships given. Oh, well, maybe 30 not given out, but there was a total of 30 new members yesterday. So that's amazing. And I appreciate all of you. Yes, Jazz King, you became a new member yesterday. I saw that. Welcome, sir. Maximum snark level, I believe, right? Some people got maximum snark. Riding down the rabbit hole. Hello. Big Mikey, welcome on in. James Moen, always good to see you. Thank you for being here. Jesse, hello, Jesse. Always good to see you. Jackie, hello, welcome on in. Deborah, hello, good morning. Who am I missing? Hopefully, I'm not missing anybody. Terminus, no. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that. Jackie, I don't know how to join since I have an iPhone. I don't even know how to do it from an iPhone, honey. You and me both would not know. I don't know how to join from an iPhone either, honey. We're both in the same boat, you know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, let's get to it. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome, new members. I do have it at, I think I put it for 10 seconds for comments. I just slowed down the chat a little, not too much. It's like every 10 seconds. So, oh, well, you're welcome. Appreciate you being here. For those of you, I do have the link to these documents posted in the description of this video. I also have it linked in a community post on my community tab. So if for some reason you don't know where they are or haven't been able to locate them yet, I just put the link for everybody. So, print them, laminate them, frame them. You know what I say. No gatekeeping here. As soon as I get information, you guys are going to get a link to it. If I have to put it in a public like Google Doc, I will. So, don't ever worry about that here. Like, that's, I thought what we're supposed to be doing here is sharing the information, but apparently people like Enton and others, they want to gatekeep information. So we don't do that around here. No gatekeeping. Meg P, beautiful Meg P, queen herself. Thank you for gifting those memberships yesterday, honey. You're amazing. If you got a gifted membership from Meg P yesterday, she's here. Make sure you give her a Michael Myers emoji. You have 2 Michael Myers emojis for you if you're a member. One of them is Michael Myers giving the little heart symbol with his hands. Make sure you give Meg P a bunch of those little Michael Myers hearts because she was gifting memberships yesterday and she's amazing. Peggy, hello. Welcome on in. Deborah, look at you. Well, thank you so much for your super sticker. I truly appreciate that. 9.99 super sticker. You're awesome. And thank you so very much. Anna D, good morning, honey. Welcome on in. Woke up. Always good to see you. Welcome on in. All right. So as long as my audio is good and we're holding up here, we can start here. Nunya, what up? Good to see you. Yeah, as long as my audio is good and you guys throw some thumbs up in the chat that my audio is good, we'll get into reading. Some of these, so I'll be honest with you, I've gotten up to page 295 on my own, even though we're starting today at page 24. So the brain is a jumbled mess, not gonna lie. It's brainworms, lots of brainworms, and I'm gonna do my best to not mix up what I've already read ahead to with what I'm gonna read to you today. So Simply Solo audio is good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Good looking out. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to hide current comments off the screen. And when I'm in another window reading, I cannot see you guys in chat. I hope you know that. So if you do become a member or you throw in a super chat or something, hopefully one of my mods is going to say thank you to you if I can't see it. And I'm so sorry if I don't see you in my chat, but I can't see it when I'm reading another window. And I know that there's a way to bring chat up on screen, and I just don't know how to do that. So either way, let's get to it. We are starting off at page 24. So this is not supplemental report number 24. I just want to make that clear. This is supplemental report number 6, and your report numbers are going to be up here in the corner here on the right. So we're at report 6, but however, I'm on page 24. So that's why I'm listing it as page numbers. Do you get what I'm saying? So if someone's trying to go look, you can just go to the page number and hopefully that's easier. I don't know. For me, I'm just going by page numbers. So we're at supplemental report number 6, but as you can see up here, we're on page number 24. So this is an interview conducted by Christopher Pohanka, Idaho State Police, badge number 3574. Let's see. So on November 18th, 2022, Sergeant Dave Cortez and Detective Chris Pohanka interviewed Redacted. The interview took place in Buell, Twin Falls County, Idaho. This is a white female, age 21, date of birth redacted 2000. Property taken was evidence, non-drug, audio-visual recordings. On November 18th, 2022, at approximately 12:28, Idaho State Police Detective Sergeant David Cortez and Detective Chris Pohanka interviewed Redacted. The interview took place in Buell, Twin Falls County, Idaho. I called and arranged with Redacted to come speak with her about the homicide in Moscow. I asked Redacted how she knew the victims in Moscow. Redacted explained how Kaylee Gonsalves, one of the victims, belonged to the Alpha Phi sorority. They have it redacted, but we know what it is, so I'm just going to say it. Gonsalves resigned from the sorority. Redacted and Gonsalves still remained friends. Maddie was one of Gonsalves's best friends. Let's see. Mogan was in classes with Redacted's friend, Redacted. The girls would work on group projects at Redacted sorority. Redacted knew Xana through mutual friends and knew Ethan the same way. Redacted is still in the sorority, but does not live at the sorority house. So at the time he's talking to this person, this is a member of the Alpha Phi sorority still. I don't know who, but she's a current member of Alpha Phi, not living at the sorority house. I asked Redacted if she was around the victims the night of the homicide. Redacted was with her friends, Redacted, and began their night at John's Alley. This is where, like, John's Alley is in here so many times, and it's where everybody allegedly was supposed to be going and or at. And then Kaylee and Maddie decided at the last minute they're just going to go to the grub truck and go home, which is interesting. Redacted took a phone call from Gonsalves to come down to the corner club. Redacted and her friends went to the club. Redacted friends slowly left from there and went back to their houses. Gonsalves and Mogan were still at the club with Redacted. Gonsalves and Redacted were planning on going to John's Alley to continue the evening. So whoever this Redacted is, it's obviously not Mogan because Mogan's name is here. And according to this girl, this person, Gonsalves and this Redacted person were planning to go to John's Alley to continue the evening. Obviously not Mogan, because they wouldn't redact her name. Redacted was talking to another friend and noticed that Gonsalves and Mogan had left. Redacted went to the grub truck and believed she was about a half an hour behind Gonsalves and Mogan. Redacted even had the same Lyft driver as Gonsalves and Mogan. Interesting. Grower, the same Lyft driver, because according to the reports, it's Grower who's giving them. Grower, Gower, however the fuck you say his name. Right? Gower, Grower. We don't know. That's interesting, though. Same driver as them. I'm wondering if this is that Peyton girl or if it's Molly Gray. It's someone who's a current member of Alpha Phi but doesn't live at the sorority house. And she was at the grub truck. And I know that there was a bunch of those chicks from Alpha Phi that walked up, and only one of them walked up to Kaylee and talked to her. And it was that Peyton chick with the big white purse. Sergeant Cortez asked if she had any further contact with the girls, and she didn't. Redacted and Redacted fell asleep in Redacted's room. She went to Redacted's room for the night. She thought she remembered hearing music, but was not sure. She would have been able to hear if they were having a party. Redacted got a video from her friend Redacted of Redacted on her bed snoring. Redacted tried to listen to the video to see if she could hear anything in the background, and she couldn't. Sergeant Cortez asked if she was aware if they were aware of where they were. Sergeant Cortez asked if she was aware of where they were before the corner club. Redacted thought they might have come from their house. Thursday night, Gonsalves wanted them to go out. Saturday night, everyone was out. She said the girls usually like getting ready together. Sergeant Cortez asked if she was aware of where they were Friday, and she remembered there was a game. She thought a couple of them went to the game, but was not sure. A couple of them went out later. Sergeant Cortez asked if she knew where they were Friday, and Redacted knew Thursday night was sleepover night at the Redacted house. Gonsalves was not able to attend since she resigned from the sorority. So Redacted here knew that Thursday night was a sleepover night at the Alpha Phi house, and Kaylee was not able to attend because she has resigned from the sorority. Right? She thought Gonsalves was in Coeur d'Alene, and she told her to come back. She thought Gonsalves came back Friday and showed people her car. She did not believe they did anything Friday night. So that's interesting. So this person is the one who's also telling Kaylee to come back, right? Because she thought Gonsalves was in Coeur d'Alene, and she told her to come back. She thought Gonsalves came back on Friday to show people her car. She did not believe they did anything Friday night. Sergeant Cortez asked if Gonsalves ever mentioned anything about a stalker. Redacted described Gonsalves as the person who would just choke things off. She believed there could have been a time where she mentioned something. When recruitment for the sorority was over, Gonsalves went over to Redacted's house. They were talking and catching up. She thought she mentioned something, but Gonsalves pushed it off as a joke. She could not remember anything specific from the conversation since it didn't seem like a big deal. Then why the fuck did you bring it up? Sidebar. She could not remember anything specific from the conversation since didn't seem like a big deal. Then why did you bring it up? Why are you even mentioning anything about, well, yeah, I mean, she usually just brushed everything off as a joke. Redacted thought if Gonsalves would tell anyone about something strange like a stalker, would be her redacted, would be her ex-boyfriend. Oh, sorry, would be her ex-boyfriend Jack or Mogan. Jack and Gonsalves grew up together and shared a dog, Murphy, together. Sergeant Cortez asked Redacted if Gonsalves said anything once her and Jack broke up, if he would want to hurt her. Gonsalves described Jack to her. So this girl is saying Gonsalves, Kaylee, described Jack to me as, quote, her child and was not a serious guy. Redacted was in Redacted fraternity, and they all hung out together since they lived next door. She describes Gonsalves and Jack as a brother and sister relationship. They shared Murphy the dog. Sergeant Cortez asked her if she thought Redacted would do anything to hurt her, and she believed he would never do anything to hurt her. Jack was described as a city guy, and she did not think he did a lot of outdoors. Well, sidebar, Steve says that he's always in the woods camping and stuff with the dog, and they'll go out there for days. So that's interesting. He was from the Coeur d'Alene area and grew up with sisters. Lana, hello. I'm trying to watch chat from my phone out of the corner of my eye. Welcome in, Lana. Balam's Lama. Everyone else coming in. Love Tina. Hello. Amethyst Noir. Hello. Halls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. D Smalls. Hello. Lana, darling, always good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Sergeant Cortez asked Redacted if she knew anyone that might have wanted to hurt them in their circle of friends. She said, quote, their circle is interesting, and that's where it kind of stumps everyone. Because this group of people would probably never have been friends if it wasn't for their housing situation. Interesting. All of the roommates' friends would meet each other and have friends hang out with friends. All of the roommates' friends would meet each other and have friends hang out with friends. And according to this girl here, the, the friend group in this house is interesting and it stumps everyone because she believes that if it wasn't for the housing situation, these people wouldn't even be hanging out with each other, which is strange. Let's see. Sergeant Cortez asked if there was any mention of strangers around the house. Redacted spoke about one of the prior tenants to the house. The house had a weird feeling to it. However, it was from several months ago. Sergeant Cortez asked her if she heard anything the night of the homicide, and she normally would. They were referred to as the party house and would normally hang out in the backyard and play loud music. The night of the homicide, everyone had gone elsewhere to hang out. The sliding back door was considered the front door to the people who would visit. Mhm. The sliding back door was considered the front door. Sidebar, my opinion only. Maybe that's why Rosie knew to just walk straight back to the sliding glass door and never go knock on the front door, huh? Because the sliding back door was known as the front door to the people who would visit. I'm just saying, purely my opinion only, allegedly speculation in my opinion. She didn't know if the back door was locked or unlocked. Redacted talked about how the kitchen area and living area was the main place for them to hang out. The door was usually open for people. The door was usually open for people. She did not know of any large knives in the house. Hmm, interesting. She did not know of any large knives in the house. Why are you asking her about whether or not there are large knives in the house? When was this interview conducted? November 18th. So 5 days after the crime, these two detectives are asking her, hey, by the way, do you know if anybody in the house had these fucking large knives? Any large knives in the house? Yeah, nope, nope, nope. What do you mean, no? Maybe it's because these detectives looked at their social media and they see that they're all playing live action Fruit Ninja with these big ass knives and watermelons. She doesn't know of any large knives in the house. Okay, maybe the large knife wasn't in the house, but clearly people are running around with large knives here. They're finding K-bars just in the dirt and shit all over this fucking place between Moscow and Pullman. So, you know, think I heard Willie say he's on his bike all the time, right? Riding these trails in PA. He's never found a knife once. I got to tell you, I hike all the time. I walk all the time. I've never found a knife just laying on the ground either. Ever. Like ever. I've been on this planet almost 50 years. I've never found just random K-bars and shit in the dirt. And they find them all over the fucking place out here. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Anyways, enough of my bullshit. Sergeant Cortez asked Redacted if Gonsalves told her about someone following her at the Winco. She had not heard anything of the story. Sergeant Cortez asked Redacted if she knew of anyone we should talk to, and she was having a hard time recalling anything. She talked about how Gonsalves and her would go out randomly and could not think of anyone to talk to. Sergeant Cortez asked her if she knew of anyone Gonsalves had romantically been involved with after Jack. Redacted named Redacted and a Redacted, who are both redacted. So apparently, Kaylee was romantically involved with two people that this person is named, and they are both redacted. I'm guessing fraternity. Or, I mean, maybe they're girls' names and it's a sorority. I have no idea. She did not have any contact information. She did not believe any. Oh, okay, two males, my bad. She did not believe any of the males mentioned would have anything to do with the homicide. So she names two males that Kaylee was romantically involved with after Jack. And this person doesn't believe any of the males she mentioned would have anything to do with the homicide. Well, we didn't ask you if you think maybe they did ask her, but we just give us the names, bitch. We don't need your opinion. You're not the investigator. Just give us the names. Who are the two dudes she's dating? What do you know about them? Where do they live? What frat do they belong to? Do they carry knives? Have you ever seen them over at the King Road house? Those are the questions you'd be asking. You don't want her to insert her. I don't know. It seems like that's what they were asking these people. Do you think so and so would hurt her? Do you think so and so would hurt her? Don't fucking ask that question to anybody. I don't know. The only people you should be asking that question to maybe parents, right? Siblings. Don't trust nobody else. I don't know. I'm of the opinion, even when you're investigating a crime like this, I don't trust nobody. As far as I'm concerned, I'm side-eyeing everybody from jump. Don't care who you are. Sorry if you're offended by that. Oh, well. We're trying to solve fucking 4 murders here. It's not about your feelings. It's not about feelings. It's about let's just get to the facts of what's happening here. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. I don't know how these detectives do it. I really don't, because like I don't know how you can sit there and like okay and have to, play fiddly fuck and sugarcoat and bush beat and all this. Just get to the point. We got 4 of your friends here brutally fucking murdered. And if you know anything, you need to tell us, because we're gonna find out and we don't want to find out later you're fucking lying to us. That's what I'd be telling everybody. I don't want to find out later you lied or you omitted, willfully hid something from me. I may have to charge you with obstruction at that fucking point, right? Like, I don't know why you're not just full court press on everybody, right? I guess that's what would make me a bad cop, right? Good cop, bad cop. I'd be the bad cop. The one who's like, let's just full court press everybody. All right. She did not believe any of the mails mentioned, blah, blah, blah. I told her if she can think of anything to assist the investigation to call. She mentioned how she would hear the dog Murphy bark, and she never heard him bark that night. Redacted. You never heard him bark, huh? We can hear him barking in the audio, honey. We can hear a dog barking. They all hear the dog barking. What do you mean? You didn't hear him. He was going crazy for like almost an hour. The other neighbors reported it to the police when they were giving statements. And this is interesting to me too. So according to her here, she mentioned how she would hear the dog Murphy bark, and she never heard him bark that night. Redacted had the television on and thought she had gone to bed around 3:30 a.m. I wonder if this is, I'm really wondering if this is Molly Gray, because she's also the one who sent the 3:30 a.m. Venmo to Liz Tadovich. And I think they did live pretty close at the time to the residence. She would be able to hear anything going on in that house since the windows are really thin. Redacted could even hear conversations in the backyard. So this person is literally so close, and her windows are so thin. She would be able to hear anything going on in the house. And she could even hear their conversations in the backyard. And this is a member of Alpha Phi sorority. The same sorority Kaylee removed herself from and was apparently fucking trolling. Just saying. Sergeant Cortez asked if the other roommates would have anyone who would want to hurt them. She thought everyone in the house were amazing people. Gonsalva's boyfriend was in Boise. Gonsalves's boyfriend, redacted, was in Boise. She spoke very highly of him. Kernodle and Chapin were in a newer relationship and usually partied with the redacted. I'm guessing frat. Usually partied with the frat. Kernodle knew a lot of people and did not have any enemies. Redacted and her friends created Instagram accounts and have their profiles private. Lately, they have been getting a lot of traffic. Yeah, it's definitely absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yep. She added people can make a fake profile and it would be easy. It would be an easy way to stalk people. She mentioned a profile which had a pretty girl as the profile picture. The profile had been around for a long time. The name on the profile was redacted, and she did not know if the profile was real or fake. And then that interview ended. Okay. So what do you guys think about that one? This is a Alpha Phi sorority member who does not live at the sorority house, but lives so close to King Road that she can hear everything going on in the house as well as conversations in the backyard, but she allegedly did not hear Murphy barking. That's interesting. Let me come over to chat. I'm going to do it from my phone. I feel like I can see everyone better. StreamYard, it looks different. For those of you who don't stream, those of you who do, you know what I mean. Your chat looks different in your StreamYard than it does on your phone. Real Tea with Krista Marie, welcome on in. Hello. Morbid Curiosities, hello. Leslie and Billy, welcome on in. Who am I missing? If there's anybody I'm missing, I'm so very sorry. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great day. Well, yeah, I wouldn't trust anybody from Kaylee's sorority. I'm just saying, I wouldn't trust a single one of these fucking chicks from any of the sororities. I don't care what anybody like I said, I'm just side-eyeing everybody because you don't trust anybody when you're conducting an investigation like this. Like you really think these kids are just these college kids are just gonna like, yeah, just tell you the truth, right? They're not gonna lie. I mean, stop it. Stop it. Of course they're gonna lie, you know? TK, hello, welcome on in. Carla, hello. Good to see you. Lurkers, if you're lurking, at least say hello. It says there's over 100 of you here. Did you thumbs it up? Did you thumbs it down? Did you follow your heart yet? Do something. Idaho's corrupt. What up? Welcome on in. Where's Detective Mowry? Anybody seen Detective Mowry? I haven't seen him in a little bit. Where are you at, Detective Mowry? Are you just lurking? Design Rhythm, hello. How are you? Good to see you. I don't know where Willie is either. I haven't seen Willie yet. Maybe he's in here. Willie, if you're here, hello. Kat, hello. Good to see you. Jennifer Folsom, you're lurking? Oh, well, lurk away, darling. Lurk away. Yeah, I'm finding out too, there's a lot of people who apparently are overseas. And if they don't have a VPN, they can't access the documents. Stephen Fillmore, hello. So if you are someone who's over the pond or you happen to be in a country that you can't access these documents, at some point later today, I am going to make a public Google document that's publicly available, and I'll list it in my community tab so that everybody who needs it can get it. That's the only way that I could think of that maybe you'd be able to get it. If you can't currently access the docs, I will put it in a publicly available Google Doc. I'll put it in the community tab, and that way anybody who can't access these docs can get them. And hopefully that helps you. Um, feel bad for those who can't get the documents. I know there's a lot of you who just prefer to hear them read to you too, which is also totally fine. Stephen Fillmore, did I say hello to you? If I didn't, hello. Welcome on in. Design Rhythm says Planet VPN free app works great. Okay, well, there you go. Good to know. Jesse. Yeah, that's right. Don't use a VPN. If you do, you're guilty. You're using a VPN because you're trying to be a criminal and commit a crime. Didn't you know? Jennifer Folsom, thank you so very much for your $4 super sticker. That was so very nice of you. I'm going to try and star all these so that at the end we can go through them. I appreciate that so very much. Did I star it? What's it doing? What's my chat doing? You're in Greece listening. Missy Moo. Oh my goodness, you're in Greece listening? Oh, good for you, darling. Heard you guys had an earthquake or something over there, though, recently, huh? Was Greece recently shaking, darling, where you were? Is there a compiled database of all the docs? I was thinking of creating an SQLDB, making all docs keyword searchable. I mean, yeah, morbid curiosities. I have no idea if there's something like that. I just know people have been saying, they've been asking if there's somewhere they can get it because if they're not in the US and they try to click on the link for the docs at ISP's website, it won't work for them. So I figured maybe if I just put everything into a publicly available Google Doc, hopefully that would help for the people. I don't know if that will help them, but hopefully it will. I mean, you do you, girl. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to put something together, go for it. I think it's important for everybody to share all of the information however they can, right? Spread it far and wide. Share it far and wide. Yes, exactly. I mean, really, it's just about the truth. It's about, because in my opinion, true justice for the victims means the actual truth, not just a portion of the truth, not just half the truth, not just 25% of the truth. It has to be 100% of the truth. And then that, I could say, would be true justice for the victims and their families. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, all right, let's get back into this. I thought that interview was pretty interesting. This is I'm sorry, current Alpha Phi sorority member claiming Kaylee resigned from the sorority. She's not allowed to any of their events because she resigned. This girl doesn't stay at the sorority house. She lives in the house so close to King Road that she could hear conversations in the backyard and she could hear everything going on in their home. So that's super interesting. You know, Beach Babe, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. So let's get back into this. I'm going to hide current comments on the screen just so that nothing is blocked out here. And let's get back into reading these reports. We're on page 27 out of 556. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. This is who? Agent James Millar, Idaho State Police, Detective District 3. What date is this? It's from 11/18, but it's reported the 21st. Okay. So let's see. Interviewing witness 1, white female, age 21, Moscow, Idaho. November 18th, Idaho State Police detectives interviewed redacted regarding multiple homicides. Interview took place at Idaho State Police District 3 in Meridian. What was taken from her property is going to be evidence non-drug. Obviously, it's a flash drive with redacted interview audio. Okay. On November 18th, at approximately 11:08 a.m., Idaho State Police Investigations Lieutenant Caitlin and I interviewed redacted. The interview took place at the Idaho State Police District 3 office in Meridian. Her father, redacted, was present for the interview. During the interview, redacted stated the following. She lived at redacted in Moscow, Idaho during the incident. Her backyard abuts the 1122 King Road backyard. She knew Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, and Xana Kernodle. She did not know Ethan Chapin. She was closest with Mogan and Gonsalves. She was in the redacted sorority with Gonsalves, so Alpha Phi. The rest of that house was in the redacted sorority Pi Phi. Gonsalves had dropped the sorority house membership that year due to financial cost. Gonsalves was out of town most of the week, but had decided to come back near the end of the week to go to the Pi Phi formal on Friday, November 11th with one of her roommates. Friday night, Gonsalves had asked her to go to the club, which she did not. She did go out Saturday to a game day celebration about 2:30 p.m. at the big redacted apartment. She left and went to the game at approximately 4:40 while Gonsalves and Mogan stayed at the party. Saturday night, she went to the Dirty Goat, a local bar. Gonsalves contacted her and wanted her to go to the corner club. She met Gonsalves at the corner club around 11 p.m. Gonsalves, Mogan, and a lot of other people were there. She had a small run-in with Redacted at the corner club. Redacted was kicked out of the bar around the same time, or not too long before Mogan and Gonsalves left the corner club. She had a small run-in with Redacted at the corner club. Redacted was kicked out of the bar around the same time, or not too long before Mogan and Gonsalves left the corner club. She stayed at the corner club until approximately 2 a.m. and arrived home at approximately 2:30. She was up until approximately 3:30 and did not hear anything. Interesting. I wonder if this is the house, the light bulb cam. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you're not hearing anything, but whatever. She woke up Sunday morning at approximately 7:30 a.m. She had been in a different room than her own. She and roommates made breakfast around 8:30. Later, when she went to her room, she could see a lot of police cars next door. She spoke with Redacted, the Uber driver. So isn't it funny? She knows to call Gower here when she sees police cars next door, huh? She sees lots of police cars next door and then calls the Uber driver. I just want to know why all of these sorority girls have the Uber driver's private number. And as we read through a lot of these things here, we're going to find out from a lot of other people that they also think it's super weird that this alleged Uber driver is not working for Uber when he's picking all of these young college girls up and keeping alcohol in his car for them and giving them shooters and stuff like that, just so we're clear. It's going to, as we get further on, it's pretty interesting. So this girl whose house abuts the 1122 King Road house. So she's either that, that fenced in line there that they have. You have the 1112, and then those other two houses right next door that were like Emily Alant and the other, place there with the big backyard. It's got to be people who live there. It's got to be those like three houses. So she speaks to the Uber driver who told her he was pretty sure he had taken Mogan and Gonsalves home that night. Pretty sure he took them. Oh boy. He drove a smaller gray sedan. Gonsalves' old room was the room that Kernodle was living in. So Kaylee's old room is now Xana's room. Gonsalves recently moved into the room on the third floor after Redacted said she was not moving back in. So initially, Kaylee was in what is now Xana's room. That was Kaylee's room, apparently from when she moved in August. She recently moved to the third floor after whoever this redacted person is who lived in that third floor bedroom left and said she was not moving back in. Gonsalves did not seem at all worried about a stalker or any other dangers. She thought Gonsalves would have said something if there was a real stalker. Gonsalves would have been scared if she had a stalker. Instead, Gonsalves was planning events for them all the time. Her bedroom window, so this person's bedroom window, looks out onto 1122 King Road's backyard. She can usually hear anything going on in the backyard. Murphy, the dog at 1122 King Road, usually barks a little bit, and she can generally hear it, which she didn't recall happening that night. She had booked tickets with Gonsalves to go to Europe together approximately 3 weeks prior to the homicides. Gonsalves had recently sold a white Subaru sedan for approximately $6,300 to a man using Facebook Marketplace. Gonsalves had just purchased the Range Rover the previous day. Gonsalves was making good money, but a Range Rover seemed expensive. Gonsalves was recently offering to buy drinks for friends quite often. Gonsalves had planned to move to Texas and had a temporary male roommate arranged down there. Gonsalves had planned to move to Texas and had a temporary male roommate arranged down there. Hang on, friends. Give me 1 second. I got to mute for a minute. All right, guys. So sorry. My daughter had a question for me. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I had to mute. Sorry, guys. My bad. Is my audio okay, by the way? Willie texted me and said that my audio is cutting out, that it's choppy. Is it choppy or no? Yeah, I did say I'd be right back. So sorry, guys. I just had to mute for a second. If my daughter has to come ask me a question, I mute. Sound is good now? Okay. Oh, okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. I was like, "Oh, fuck, it's all gonna go downhill, man." Here we go. Spooks found out I was live. They were, "Fuck, fuck, fuck, go mess with their audio. Hurry up. She'll rage quit." I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Kidding. All right, take a sip of your coffee. Hit your vape. Let's get back into reading this. Okay, my audio's good. Awesome. I did turn my volume down a little bit. I know sometimes I get loud and it'll pop. It does pop a little bit. Balama lama. Balama lama. Clipping. Hang on. See if we can fix this. That. And let's fix that. And let's see if that helps. Maybe if I do that. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Is that a little bit better? Or is it still clipping in and out? That's better. Sound is good. Okay, thanks, guys. Design Rhythm says that's better. Angel Tiger X, thank you. Much better. I think for some reason, yeah, I think I had my settings wrong in my audio, and I don't know how I did that because it was fine. Was it like that the whole time? Or did it just start doing it? Man, I hope it wasn't clipping out the whole time. Transformer Uplifter. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. It's better today than it usually is. Thanks, P Fox. Appreciate that, honey. Hopefully we're good now. Wait, never mind. It comes in and out. Fuck my life. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute. Talk amongst each other. Give me 1 minute. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How bad is it? I mean, that's what I'm saying, Willie, right? Willie knows. All my shit's brand spanking new, bro. I didn't buy no cheap shit. I shouldn't be having no problems. I'm gonna take this shit to Geek Squad and be like, fix it, motherfuckers. Much money as I paid for a freaking brand new laptop and headphones and not headphones, microphone. You know what I mean? Is that better? Sounds better? Okay. Sounds fine. Is it better? Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Let's get into this shit. I mean, if it starts clipping out, Willie will text me, I'm sure. I'm gonna try and keep an eye on my chat here on my phone. So, I mean, if it starts getting really bad, like throw a red flag in chat. I'll see the red flags out of the corner of my eye. Don't touch anything. It's fine. Yeah, exactly. Don't move. Like I'll literally stay in this exact same spot and not touch anything. No, don't let it ride, Willie. I appreciate you texting me because at least then I can just, unhook my mic. No, I'm not going to unhook my mic. Why would I do that, honey? The mic in my computer sucks balls. That's why I purposely bought like a streaming microphone. Do you get what I'm saying? I do need one. I do need one, honey, because the microphone in my computer sucks balls. My phone is next to my laptop. Yes, you're right, P Fox, but that's the only way I can see my comments, honey. I mean, I can see it in my chat, but when I'm in another window reading, I can't see my chat. I can't see my StreamYard window when I'm in another window reading docs. Yeah, move it. I did, honey. I moved it. You got it, darling. I moved it as far away as I could. All right. All right. Well, let's roll. Regulators, mount up. Let's get back into this. So, Gonsalves, right, recently had a lot of money and she's offering to buy drinks for friends quite often. She also planned to move to Texas and had a temporary male roommate arranged down there. Gonsalves had an ex-boyfriend, Redacted, who is Redacted's neighbor. Gonsalves and Redacted dated for approximately 6 years. Gonsalves and Redacted dated all summer while Gonsalves was up in Moscow working. What? Oh, okay, because where they're interviewing her at. Okay, that makes sense. Gonsalves and Redacted dated all summer while Gonsalves was up in Moscow working. Gonsalves and Redacted were not together, but were good friends. Gonsalves and Redacted shared a dog, Murphy, together. Mogan had a boyfriend, Redacted, in Boise, who was friends with a lot of Redacted's friends who had graduated. Gonsalves stayed in her old room while she was living in Moscow all summer. So Kaylee was staying in her old room, which is now Xana's room, all summer long. Gonsalves only had one roommate during the summer, Redacted. So Gonsalves was living in the house in what was Xana's room and only had one roommate during the summer, Redacted. Interesting. Gonsalves worked for Redacted and ended up getting a full-time offer starting February 2023. She does not think Gonsalves went out much during the summer. Redacted had just graduated and stayed in Moscow for the summer. So this is someone who already graduated but is still staying in Moscow for the summer at the house that abuts King Road. And she is also in the same sorority as Kaylee, even though Kaylee is left. She did not think Redacted had anything to do with the incident. Redacted showed a video from a party earlier on game day, which showed what Redacted was wearing, which appeared to be the same as a person from a video from the grub truck. Redacted remembers Gonsalves and Mogan saying they were going to John's Alley and Redacted was going to go with them. Redacted was not good friends with Gonsalves and Mogan, but Mogan is kind of friends with a lot of the people involved with the Greek houses. Redacted is in the same pledge class year as Redacted, Gonsalves, and Mogan, and has been in a lot of their classes. Redacted showed a screenshot of a group message obtained by Redacted. The author of the message seemed to know a lot of information regarding the homicides. A screenshot of a group message obtained by someone else, and the author of the message seems to know a lot of information regarding the homicides. Redacted had read some creepy comments on YouTube and obtained screenshots of some of them. Redacted turned over a flash drive with some of the comments. Sidebar, that's some of us, you know. Whoever this is, she literally was reading comments on YouTube, looking for creepy ones or ones she thought that was creepy and took screenshots and put them all on a fucking thumb drive, put them on a flash drive for the cops. That's us. That's all of you. That's all of us hooligans. They were taking screenshots of our comments and giving them to the cops. She did not believe there was a party at 1122 King Road on Saturday, game day. People often use the sliding door as the main entrance for the house. There it is again. She does not think it was usually locked. Gonsalves and Mogan didn't use drugs. She didn't know Kernodle well enough to comment on her. The neighbors' dogs behind them also did not bark anything that night. Interview ended at approximately 11:53 a.m. Okay. Next one here is Officer Matt Warnsing, Idaho State Police, Detective District 3. Let's see, November 18th, 2022. Investigators interviewed Redacted, date of birth 2000, in regard to the homicides. And this interview took place at Redacted's home located in Parma, Canyon County, Idaho. This is a witness, white male, age 22, home in Parma, school in Moscow. Property collected, evidence, non-drug, recordings, audio and visual. Okay, so video recording. On November 18th, 2022, at approximately 11:36 a.m., this one's interesting. Homeland Security Task Force investigator. So I notice in these reports, some of the people that are being interviewed, it's only very specific people. They're sending Department of Homeland Security Task Force investigators to talk to these people. So November 18th, Homeland Security Task Force Officer Sage Collins and I, Idaho State Police Detective Matt Wernsing, interviewed Redacted, date of birth 2000, in regard to the homicide of Kaylee, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. The interview took place at Redacted's home, located at Redacted in Parma, Canyon County, Idaho. Following is a summary of Redacted's statements. Redacted was a friend of Gonsalves and Mogan and was also their neighbor across the street at Redacted King Road in Moscow. He did not know the other two victims. Gonsalves was in an on and off dating relationship with one of Redacted's roommates. I'm guessing Jack DeCourt, but I really don't know at this point because it's been said that she was dating other people as well in between Jack, so I don't want to assume. Gonsalves was in an on and off dating relationship with one of Redacted's roommates. So this person is a roommate of, I assume, Jack DeCourt. Redacted and Redacted were in the same fraternity. Redacted also knew Mogan's boyfriend, but he had graduated and was living in Boise. He knew Gonsalves a little more than Mogan because she had dated Redacted, and he said their relationship remained amicable. Yeah, it's got to be Jack. I wonder if this is Adam. Redacted and his girlfriend, Redacted, were at his house on Saturday, November 12th. Redacted went to the victim's house around 10 p.m. At approximately 10:45, Redacted, Gonsalves, and Mogan got a ride to the corner club bar located at 202 Main Street, Moscow. Redacted believed they got a ride from an Uber driver named Redacted. He and his friends went to the corner club shortly after the girls left. After approximately an hour, Redacted spoke with Gonsalves and Mogan briefly while at the corner club before they left. Redacted told Redacted the two girls were going to John's Alley's Tavern. See what I mean? All these reports, everybody's this, as far as everybody knew, they were supposed to be going to John's Alley. I think even as I got further ahead, I don't want to confuse it, so you know what? I'm not going to say it. Scratch that. Strike that, Your Honor. Redacted saw they were hanging out with another student he identified as Redacted and saw them leave the corner club with Redacted. Redacted told Redacted the two girls did not typically hang out with Redacted, and Redacted thought it was odd. So this person thought it was odd that all of a sudden Kaylee and Maddie are hanging out with Jack Showalter at the corner club and leaving with him. And this person is not the first person to say that. They all seem to have like the same story. It's interesting to me. They all kind of seem to have like the same general story of like, oh, well, I mean, I don't know, but we all know that it was weird for them to be hanging out with that dude because they usually didn't. And it was strange that he was even with them. Redacted and Redacted walked to Redacted's house at approximately 1:30 a.m. and stayed there. They woke up the next morning, Sunday, November 13th, went and got breakfast, and Redacted drove Redacted to his house at approximately 11:45. Hmm. Interesting. They woke up the next morning, went to get breakfast, and Redacted drove Redacted to his house at approximately 11:45. There was only one police vehicle in front of the residence when they drove by. What? There was already a police car there at 11:45 a.m. Let's read this again. Redacted and Redacted walked to Redacted's house at approximately 1:30 a.m. and stayed there. They woke up the next morning, Sunday, November 13th, went and got breakfast, and Redacted drove Redacted to his house at approximately 11:45. There was only one police vehicle in front of the residence when they drove by. How is there already a law enforcement? How is there a police vehicle there at 11:45? This guy's saying he went to drive his friend home at approximately 11:45, but he's also saying that when they drove by, there was already one police vehicle in front of the residence when they drove by. They, plural. Not like he's coming back later after 11:45 and he's alone. They are together, driving by the residence at approximately 11:45 a.m. and there's already a police car out there. I gotta come look at my chat. Am I reading this right or am I just dumb? Meg P, darling. You know, you could tell me, honey, if I'm just reading it wrong, but I don't think I am. According to this person who lives with Jack Decor, he is one of Jack Decor's roommates. He is saying that when they woke up the next morning, he went and got breakfast. They went and got breakfast, and Redacted drove Redacted to his house at approximately 11:45. There was only one police vehicle in front of the residence when they drove by. Redacted went outside with Redacted and another roommate. Redacted, and watched more law enforcement respond to the scene. Redacted ran to the victim's house and was there for approximately an hour and a half before returning. Redacted was visibly upset and told Redacted and Redacted some of the girls had died and Gonsalves was one of them. Redacted left Moscow later on Sunday. Redacted clarified he and Redacted went to the grub truck on their way from the corner club to the house. He also saw on social media Gonsalves and Mogan went to the grub truck after he and Redacted were there. Redacted thought they may have been at the grub truck between 3 and 3:30 a.m. based on when they posted to their social media. The grub truck broadcasted a live feed that captured the two girls at the truck. Redacted thought it was odd that Redacted spent so much time around the two girls. Redacted had heard Redacted may have committed the murder, but said Redacted went home with their other roommates and Redacted when he and Redacted left the corner club. Redacted's fourth roommate, Redacted, worked at Redacted, but would have gotten home around 4 a.m. after closing down the bar. Oh, okay, maybe he works at the bar. There were also 2 more students that lived above Redacted and Redacted that were hanging out with Redacted and Redacted before they all went to bed. What the? Poke my own eye out. Redacted told Redacted he had been woken up between 4 and 4:45 a.m. because Redacted and Gonsalves' dog had been barking very loudly and uncontrollably. It sounded though the dog was outside, which was odd because of how cold it was and the dog not being an outside dog. Redacted did not know the 2 roommates that were not injured and found it odd they were sitting in their rooms and slept through the incident. Maybe this isn't Adam. I don't know. Whoever this person is, it's one of Jack DeCour's roommates. And even this person was like, wait, what? They said they slept through it? Well, that's weird because I heard the fucking dog losing its mind starting between like 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. We all heard it. What do you mean they said they slept through it? Even this kid's like, yeah, well, I think that's weird that they're just sitting in their rooms and slept through it, huh? Holy shit. And this kid said that he heard it's Jack Showalter who committed the murders, right? That's what he had heard because this is the person they thought it was odd that this person who spent so much time around the 2 girls on that grub truck video. And he had heard that person may have committed the murder. All right, so let's see. Where did I end? I'm sorry. Redacted was not aware if any of the victims had a stalker. He mentioned a stalker from earlier in the year that lived in Redacted apartments that had already been reported to the police. Okay. So there was a stalking report made to the police. Cool. All right. What is this thing doing? Let's get on to the next one. Okay. This is also Matt Wernsing. Let's see. November 18th, 2022. See, so like he's doing an interview with this female here, but notice there's no Department of Homeland Security or anything. So it's really interesting that Jack DeCour's roommates, one of them, is being interviewed by Department of Homeland Security, not even FBI. Department of Homeland Security. Isn't that wild? You'll see it in these reports. There's only specific people being interviewed by the Department of Homeland Security. It's pretty interesting. Come back over to chat and say hello. Beckles, hello. Thank you, honey. By the way, I think it was a Venmo that you sent, right? Was that you? Was that the same Beckles? If that was you, thank you, honey. I really appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. Who else am I missing? Wilson Grand Communications. Hello. Welcome on in. Yeah. Many of us in the beginning thought it was one of the Jacks. Yeah. I know, right? Stone, what up? Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. It's like a natural amphitheater. Yeah, we've even heard Payne say on the thing, it's like a fishbowl. All the sounds travel, you know. What was war? What up? Just a period for the chat, just a period. Is Adam Jack's roommate? I mean, allegedly, yeah, Eric. But I think it was more than just Adam and Jack that lived together. By the way that this kid's talking about it, I think there's like 3 or 4 of them that all live there together, and then there's other students that live above them as well, is what it sounds like he's describing. LR, what up? Welcome on in. Welcome on in, Eric. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon to you. Jesse, he's still on your list. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't even have a list anymore. It is what it is, you know? Definitely not our job to try to solve this. The only thing we can do is just read these documents and at least understand that the narrative maybe is not exactly as it would appear. Know what I mean? Maybe, just maybe, some things are not as they appear. Um, you know, and that's just, we're all entitled to our opinions, you know? Yeah, exactly, Becky, right? Beckles. Some heard Murphy and some didn't. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Jesse, I know, right? Same girl, same. You just have a list. I don't think he did Wilson Grand. No, not an Elantra. If I remember correctly, so far what I've seen in the reports, there is a black Mazda 3 or something like that that is attributed to Showalter. And then I believe he, in one of the other reports, I may be confusing it, so don't quote me, but I think in one of these other reports, he's seen also in a black like BMW M3 or something like that as well. So, but don't quote me on that. I'm already to page like 300 on my own, even though we're only to page like 27 here together. So my brain right now is just full of brain worms from reading hundreds of pages of documents. Never mind what I was still catching up on from Moscow police supplemental reports, as well as Pullman. And I'm trying my best not to jumble it all in my own brain. You know what I mean? End of the line. What up? Welcome on in here. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Although, you know, I wish I didn't have to show that comment just because her name's in it. uh, Personally, I think she's absolute nutter butter. Just a nutter butter. But that's my opinion. But yes, I do remember what you're saying. End of the line. And I appreciate your comment. Thanks for being here. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, 50 terabytes, right? All right. And this is only supplementals too. Let's keep in mind that you know, I have public records requests in and FOIAs in for things that are not this. I wasn't asking for supplemental reports. I hope everybody understands that. I didn't ask for this. This is not what my requests are for. So once I get all of those back, that will also be shared with you guys and likely put into a Google Doc that's publicly available as well. So just want you to know that. Um, yeah, you understand, right? End of the line. Thank you. Cheers. I hope you get it. Love you. Thank you for being here, not being mean. All right. So let's see. Okay. So let's see. I just wanted to point out only certain people get interviewed by Department of Homeland Security Task Force investigators. That was my point of my stupid sidebar there. November 18th at approximately 12:16, TFO Sage Collins. Oh, no. Okay, so wait a minute. Homeland Security is on this one, too. TFO Sage Collins and Idaho State Police. Oh, shit, look at that. So they're doing another one here. Interviewed redacted, date of birth 2001. I almost missed that right there. HSI TFO. in regard to the homicides, blah, blah, blah. Interview took place at Redacted's boyfriend's house, located in Canyon County. Okay. Unknown female, date of birth 2001, 21 years old. She's from Coeur d'Alene, but she goes to school in Moscow. Evidence collected, non-drug. Yeah, because it's an audio recording, visual recording. Okay. November 18th, 2022, at approximately 12:16, Homeland Security Investigations Task Force Officer Sage Collins and I, State Police Detective Matt Wernsing, interviewed Redacted, date of birth 2001, in regards to the homicide. The interview took place at Redacted's boyfriend's house, located at Redacted in Parma, Canyon County, Idaho. In Parma, Canyon County, Idaho. Following is a summary of Redacted statements. On Saturday, November 12th, Redacted was at Redacted's college house, located at Redacted King Road. She called Gonsalves at approximately 10 p.m. and went over to her house. Mogan came home from the Redacted house shortly after. Gonsalves had contacted a man by the name of Redacted to give them a ride from their house. Redacted did not know Redacted's last name, but provided his phone number as Redacted. When Redacted arrived to pick them up, Gonsalves got in the front seat, and Redacted and Mogan got in the back seat. So this is the girl that rode with them to the corner club, and they were picked up by Grower, I believe. Allegedly, Grower dropped them off at the corner club and picked them up. Redacted had recently had a baby. Yep, this is about Grower. Okay, so Eric, we could say his name. Eric had recently had a baby, and Redacted asked him, quote, how fatherhood was going, or how fatherhood was. I can't fucking talk right now, for the love of Pete. Redacted said Redacted was feeling down about it, so Eric is feeling down about being a father and let out a big sigh. He said it was harder than he'd expected and had been kind of hard on him. So fatherhood is harder than he's expected. It's been kind of hard on him. He also said his wife and kid were out of town, and he was excited to have the house to himself for the weekend. What a fucking pig. I don't care. I've said it before, and if you've been here for my lives long enough, you already know. I've been saying it for a while. I don't care what anybody says. The fact that this creep motherfucker is like 30-something years old with a wife and a brand new baby, and he literally spends his time pretending he's out Ubering and doing Lyft, and he'll do it for a little while. But when it's time to go pick up the college girls, he ends his shift with Uber and Lyft. And they text him directly. They all have his number. He seems to have a preference of picking up the young girls instead. And as we'll read further, he keeps alcohol and shit in his car for them. I don't know if it's in this report, but I promise it's in one of them. It's so strange to me. So your wife thinks you're out working and you're actually picking up college girls and you're not even making any money. You'd rather be out at 3 o'clock in the morning picking up drunk college girls than be at home with your wife, helping her with your fucking baby, who's probably up in the middle of the night crying and needing to be fed. Just saying. Just saying. Why aren't you home with your wife and your baby? So allegedly, he's sighing and complaining about fatherhood to the college girls. Interesting. Redacted dropped the girls off at the corner club and told them he would be driving until about 3 a.m. Well, I bet you would be. I'm sure it's good for him to do it at that time too, because everybody's getting out of the bar. So, hey, I'm sure you're going to go make good money for a couple of hours. You can go Uber from midnight to 3 a.m. Everybody's all college kids. They're drunk. They're getting out of the bars. You're going to be busy picking people up. I don't have a problem with that. You're doing it legit on the Lyft and Uber app where they can track you. track your location every step of the way. You know what I mean? It's all done legit. He takes it to the next level where he picks these people up, gives them his number so that they can privately contact him for rides for when he's not. And like if so you'll leave your home life, your wife and your baby to go because one of these young girls texted you and said, "Hey, I need a ride. Are you gonna like drop what you're doing to go give them a ride?" That's super weird. I don't know, in my opinion. Does anybody else find that shit weird? I can't be the only one. Well, no, I know. Having a baby ain't cheap. I agree. Trust me. I've been a mom twice. Single mom at that. But he's keeping alcohol in his car, shooter bottles and stuff like that in his car, and has a preference for the girls, um, specifically. His preference seems to be. So it's almost like I don't care. This is just my opinion. It's my opinion, my speculation. I could understand you go out and do the Uber or the Lyft, till 2, 3 in the morning because it's busy time. Everybody's getting out of the bars, but I do find it weird that they all have his personal phone number. And as we'll go through reports, you'll see other people. It's not just me. There are other people also reporting they think it's weird AF. So, yeah, exactly. Right. She used to work for his wife used to work for Moscow police, used to, maybe still does. I don't know. Yeah. hmm Exactly. He's not happy with home, so he's out with young girls. His wife thinks he's out doing Uber and Lyft, which he probably is for a couple hours. Little does she know he's ending that shit and hanging out with these and doing rides for the young drunk girls. I don't know how they're paying him unless they're just giving him cash or something, or like I don't get it. But this girl's saying that Kaylee hopped in the front seat, right? And he's all sighing and sad about being a dad. Let's see. So all of this redacted. So redacted, 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 and redacted's friends were friends of the girls and were already at the bar. Redacted told Redacted he would also go to the corner club. Redacted and Redacted shared a class with a guy named Redacted who was also at the corner club. Redacted began creeping Redacted out by staring at her and making comments to her. Redacted also spoke to Redacted, saying he needed to get her Redacted goddamn phone number right now and was being kind of aggressive. Redacted hung around the girls at the bar for a while. Redacted said Gonsalves and Redacted went with them. She didn't see him leave with the girls, but thought it would be weird if that was true. Again, another person saying it is weird that they would be with Showalter. And then you have this other kid, this Cole kid who got booted out of the club, apparently. He's the one who was creeping on Maddie and staring at her and making weird comments and grabbing on her and stuff and yelling like, I need to get her goddamn phone number right now or whatever, and was being aggressive. The girls had apparently asked Redacted to go with them as well, but he stayed at the corner club. Redacted left the corner club with Redacted at approximately 1:15 a.m. and went to the grub truck. They got food at the grub truck and went to Redacted's house at Redacted in Moscow to eat and go to bed. I asked Redacted why it would have been odd for the girls to leave with Redacted. She said Redacted was not someone she or the other girls hung out with because he was weird. He smoked a lot of pot, had a temper, and fought a lot. The girls knew Redacted because he was a Redacted or a member of the Redacted fraternity. Mogan's boyfriend was also a Redacted, and the sororities would often hang out with the Redacted. Gonsalves and Mogan had sent videos of themselves at the grub truck to a Snapchat group around 2 a.m. Redacted had not heard of Gonsalves having a stalker. She said the victims were pretty well liked and did not know of any issues the victims had with anyone. Redacted thought Redacted may have been working at the Redacted the night of the incident, as well as all of these other people and this other person. I can't with the I literally, guys, I want to poke my own absolute eyeballs out of my face with these black boxes. I'm not even joking you. I really do. So this person thought this person may have been working at the place the night of the incident, as well as this person, and this person. I really think that's just what I'm going to start filling it in myself with replacement words, right? I'm just letting my eyeballs readjust for a second and taking a sip of my coffee, friends. I just need to let my eyeballs adjust for a second. For the love of God. Redacted thought this person may have been working at the place the night of the incident, as well as this person, and this person. Redacted said there were a lot of Instagram accounts that were surfacing. The accounts had few followers, but were following many of the girls and making comments such as, "You're next," and "Thank God they're gone," and "I'm gonna do it again." Holy shit. So she's saying there were Instagram accounts being created that were surfacing. The accounts had few followers, but were following many of the girls and making comments such as, "You're next," "Thank God they're gone," and "I'm going to do it again." Redacted thought this person's redacted thought Redacted's involvement with the sorority girls was odd. He would frequent Eric. She's talking about Eric here. So this girl, Redacted, thinks Eric's involvement with the sorority girls is odd. He would frequently drop other rides for them and gave them his personal phone number. So he would drop other rides from his actual legit paying. So he would frequently drop other rides for these girls and gave them his personal phone number. He seemed to pay particular attention to Redacted members. This started with two sorority girls that had already graduated and had passed Eric's phone number on to them. So there's already two sorority girls from the year prior. Alpha Phi members is my guess, who passed on his phone number to them. Interview was conducted at 1:03. So even this girl thought it was super weird, Eric's involvement with these sorority girls, because he would frequently drop other rides that he already had for them, like a paying ride. He would drop the ride for them and gave them his personal phone number. And the reason that they have his personal phone number is because it started with two sorority girls from the year prior that had already graduated, and they passed along his number to them. Interesting. Hmm. Trust me, there's more. All right, so here we have a Kenneth Beckner, Detective Kenneth Beckner. Let's see. From November 18th, 2022, Idaho State Police detectives interviewed Redacted, the ISP District Office 3 in Meridian, regarding the homicides. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to see my chat, but I had to put my phone further away, so hopefully it's not interfering with my audio too bad. Young Black Economist, I see you out of the corner of my eye. Welcome in, darling. I don't know how long you've been here, but welcome. Sarah D. Irish, hello, honey. Balam Zlama. Sorry, trying to see you guys. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great day. So we have a white female here, age 19. Wonder if this is Dylan? No, we already read Dylan's, didn't we? 1 through 23. I don't know anymore. I don't know who the fuck this is. It's a 19-year-old female. Let's see. Doesn't say residence. Oh, yeah, it does. Meridian. Okay, it's a 19-year-old female from Meridian. All right. Property collected, evidence non-drug because it's a recording, audio-visual recording. November 18th at 2:13, Detective Miller and I, or Millar, interviewed Redacted at the ISP District 3 office in Meridian. Okay. She stated the following. She's part of the Redacted sorority at University of Idaho. She knew Ethan Chapin through his fraternity. She got to know Xana Kernodle through Chapin. She didn't know Kaylee or Madison very well. She knew Chapin and Kernodle for 1.5 years, so we can assume she's part of the Pi Phi, or I don't know what sorority. It seems like a much longer name, so I don't know. She currently lives at the sorority house and has never been to 1122 King Road. She was at the Redacted fraternity house on Saturday night, November 12th, for a party. Chapin and Kernodle were at the party. She had never heard any sort of stalking incidents. She was with Kernodle until 2 a.m. She took a picture with Kernodle and walked home. Chapin and Kernodle remained at the party. She had no further contact with them. So, sidebar. We know. Remember how they said that allegedly in the beginning, they said the roommates were all approximately home by 2 a.m.? Well, now we know they weren't. For sure they weren't. Dylan saying that like 2:30, between like 2:30 and 3, it's still just the 4 girls in the house. They're upstairs in Kaylee's room. Xana's door is wide open. Xana and Ethan are not there. She is sure that they're not there. This person has pictures with Xana at 2 a.m. And Ethan and Xana were still at this party after 2 a.m. when this girl walked home. So we know Ethan and Xana were not home at 2 a.m. They weren't home at 2:30 a.m. Just saying. Kernodle and Chapin had been dating for about a year. Everyone had a crush on Kernodle. Interesting. She heard Redacted was at the 1122 King Road house after the Redacted party. Redacted is a Redacted and a PC brother of Chapin. What's a PC brother? I don't know what that is. Interview concluded at 2:26 p.m. I don't know what a PC brother is. Pledge, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay. Where are we at here? All right, we're about an hour and a half in. Cool. Pledge class. Okay, thanks, honey. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, cool. Thanks. Appreciate that. Stone. Yeah, I know, right? I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, it was weird. Exactly, young black economist. To me, it's predator behavior. To me, it's classic predator behavior. You're going to, purposely put yourself around your prey, in my opinion. Like, I don't understand why he would be dropping paid fares, paid rides to go get them. And I don't know. It is what it is. Very, very odd. It's very, very strange. It really is. I agree with you. I agree with all of you. The shit's weird. To me, it's classic predator behavior. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if it was my husband, like I would seriously be like, yeah, no, you're not going to be picking up drunk college people at 2 or 3 in the morning to make money. No, sorry, honey, find another way. Go get a different job. You're just because at that point, right? You're putting yourself in a situation where one of these drunk girls, for all you know, could accuse you of something that you didn't even do. And you're married with a new baby. You don't want to be putting yourself in a situation where a young drunk girl could take something you say or something you do in the wrong way and say that you tried something. You tried to, assault her or something. You never want to put yourself in that kind of a situation, I feel like, as a male. Females, you always want to be cautious about who you're with and whose cars you're getting into. You don't want to be alone. But, same applies for males. Males, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're alone in a vehicle with a female you don't know and she's wasted because you never know what could arise from that. And if she thinks she perceives you in the wrong way, you know? But if you're gonna purposely implant yourself there, in my opinion, it's because it's classic predator behavior, and that is just my opinion. And I don't know shit. So do not take my word for anything. You know what I mean? Do not take what I say as fact because I don't know shit. I'm just snarky. Some snarky bitch. That's all. All right. So what do we have here? Detective Eric Pacina. Let me come back over here. Rex Roswell, hello, good to see you. How did I miss you, Rex? Gen 7, well, hello there, homie. Good to see you. What up, gangsta? Good to see you, Jen. If there's anybody else I'm missing, I'm sorry. Yeah, and that motherfucker drove a silver sedan. Yeah, can't make it up. That's right, homie. You know it. I thought Eric showed him the ring cam. Yeah, I don't know, honey. I have no idea, I'm not sure anymore. Quit bragging. Who's bragging? Rex. Who's bragging? News Nation said the driver turned himself into the police days later, sharing his GPS coordinates and alibi. Critical evidence to prove his innocence. Well, I mean, it is News Nation, so know what I mean? News Nation also said, weren't they the ones who brought up the person that said Brian Koberger was a cannibal and shit? He wasn't. They were the ones who also said he was probably reading Elliot Rogers' manifesto, and that was the page 118 that he underlined. News Nation was trying to sneak a fucking cell phone into the jail. I remember that episode. Ashley Banfield talking about sneaking a cell phone in with the priests who go to minister to Koberger in the jail when he was still in the jail under the courthouse in Moscow in Lata. Yeah, he gave the girls airplane shooters in his car. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, yeah, he kept alcohol in his vehicle. That's what I was just telling everybody. He literally kept alcohol in his vehicles for the young college girls that he would be driving around till 3 in the morning, apparently free of charge. And he would drop actual other rides that were paying him to go get them, which is just really fucking weird. So weird. I don't care what anybody says. I personally find it to be incredibly predatory. If that was my daughter and I found out that my daughter, I also, I have one who is this age, by the way. And yeah, she lets me know every lift she gets in. I get the GPS location, I get the coordinates. She sends me a fucking pic of the license plate. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and if she told me, hey, so one of my drivers, like this guy was wicked cool and he gave me his personal number and said that if I want to call him for free rides and to call him even when he's off duty, I'd be like, you will absolutely do nothing of the sort. I don't care. I will come and get you. If you need a free ride and you can't pay for an Uber, you call me. You don't call some fucking creep. You call me. I don't care what time of the night or day it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like I feel like these kids are kind of close to their parents. And like, if their parents knew that like this random like Uber driver has I don't know, he just picks them up like at all hours of the night. And yeah, Steve says he's like family and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. The whole thing's weird to me, but whatever, I don't know. If it was my kid, I would just be like, "You're not getting in that person's car, right? Please tell me that you are never gonna call that person for a private ride. If there's ever any reason you need a private ride and you can't afford an Uber, you call me. I don't give a fuck, I'll get you one. I'll literally plug in my debit card to get you an Uber." You know what I mean? But you're not just gonna call some random married man at 3 in the morning to come and get you. Please don't ever do that, just as a safety precaution. Please teach your children that, please, if you have college age females especially, but also males. The males need to know this too. Okay, there's plenty of people out there who prey on drunk male college kids as well, not just females. So teach them all. Teach them all. All right, enough of my bullshit. Here we go. Eric Pacina, Detective Eric Pacina, November 18th, 2022. Idaho State Police detectives interviewed redacted in regards to the homicide. This is a witness, white female, age 22. Her home is in Moscow. Evidence collected from her is non-drug. I'm guessing just a statement or video. It's not listed. All right, let's see. November 18th, 2022, Idaho State Police Detective Sergeant Hoxie and I, Detective Pacina. Okay, so no Homeland Security here. Interviewed University of Idaho student, redacted, date of birth 2000. Redacted had her redacted present for the interview. I'm going to say lawyer, parent, something. I asked redacted to explain her day. She stated the following. Redacted said it was game day. Her and her friends attended a pregame at the redacted apartment complex at approximately 3 p.m. She remembers talking to Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves at the pregame and was sure she saw the rest of the roommates there. Redacted remembers seeing Xana as well. At approximately 3:50 p.m., Redacted said she left the pregame and went to the game that started at about 4. Redacted says she was going to help Gonsalves get a ticket for the game. Gonsalves decided not to go to the game because Mogan wasn't going. Interesting. So Kaylee and Maddie didn't go to the game. After the game, Redacted said they went to a place called Redacted. Gonsalves texted Redacted and asked if she was going to the corner club. Redacted said they would go after the fights on TV. Oh, the fights on TV were over. Okay. At approximately 10:59, Kaylee texted Redacted asking if she needed a ride. Gonsalves' text read, quote, "Me, Maddie, and Redacted are getting one so we can pick you up." Hmm. So Kaylee is saying, "Hey, we're all together and we've already got this guy picking us up, so we can just come and get you." Because this guy, he'll basically do anything we want him to do. And he'll get us whenever I want. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Is like one of these girls having an affair with this married guy. Just saying. It's just questions. It's just questions. Redacted said she was at the corner club when she saw the message. At approximately 10:30 to 11. Why does that do that on me? Don't do that. Approximately 10. Oh my God. Stupid thing. Approximately 10:30 to 11. Redacted saw Mogan and Gonsalves at the corner club. Approximately 11:30 to 12 a.m., Redacted left the corner club with her other friend and boyfriend and went home. Redacted said after they got home, her friend Redacted was drunk and she was trying to put her to bed. Her boyfriend went to bed in her room. Okay, so her friend is drunk. She's trying to get her friend to bed. What just happened? Her friend is drunk. She's trying to get to bed in the room. Okay. I asked Redacted how she the victim. Redacted said she met Mogan her freshman year and knew her through mutual friends. She said she met Gonsalves her freshman year and were both in the same sorority. Okay. So this is Alpha Phi. So this girl's Alpha Phi. She's in the same. She met Gonzalez freshman year, both in the same sorority. Okay. Why is my thing doing this? Sorry, guys, my shit's freezing up on me. Hang on. She met Gonsalves her freshman year. They were both in the same sorority. Redacted said Gonsalves was her best friend. Huh. Redacted said she did not know Xana Kernodle as well. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Let me. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Hang on one second. I'm gonna mute for 1 minute. I think my screen is frozen, so I think I got to refresh. So I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute and refresh. My audio fucking up too. Audio is good right now. Someone, I thought I saw a comment that said it cut out for like 30 seconds. It glitched about 2 minutes ago for a little bit, but it's good right now. Oh, okay. All right, cool. I just figured I might as well not keep talking if it's all messed up. Key Fox, thank you, honey. Okay, cool. All right, thanks, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is an alpha phi girl. They get home. Her friend is drunk. She gets her friend to bed, and her boyfriend goes into her room. Asked her how well she knew the victim. She said she met Mogan her freshman year and knew her through mutual friends. Redacted said she met Gonsalves her freshman year and they were both in the same sorority. Redacted said Gonsalves was her best friend. Redacted said she did not know Xana as well. Redacted described her as being a big party girl and would attend the same parties as her. Kernodle was best friends with a lot of the Redacted. I asked if Gonsalves ever mentioned if she was ever followed or talked about some weird activity recently. Redacted said Gonsalves had never mentioned that to her. So this is Kaylee's alleged best friend, but Kaylee's never mentioned to her that she had a stalker, even though a lot of other people are saying she did. I asked Redacted if Gonsalves had anybody who had any issues with her. Redacted said Gonsalves never mentioned it. Redacted said Gonsalves was the type to go out and meet random people at places like John's Alley and would get rides from random people. She's claiming that Kaylee is the type of person that is just going to go out and meet random people at places like John's Alley, which, by the way, sidebar, if you read the reviews on that place, pretty bad. A lot of people say it's like a fucking dump and you'll get roofied here, just so you know. There is a Google review that says this person believed they were roofied there. Not even joking you. So Redacted said Gonsalves is the type of person to go out and meet random people at places like John's Alley and would get rides from random people. Redacted said Gonsalves and Redacted had broken up recently after a long relationship. I asked Redacted where her house was in relation to the victim's house. She said both houses shared a backyard with a chain link fence separating the 2 yards. Yeah, so it is the house that I thought it was. Sergeant Hoxie asked if she heard any strange noises. She said she did not. I asked Redacted if Gonsalves had always stayed at the same apartment. Redacted said Gonsalves had stayed there all summer. Redacted said Gonsalves' room in the summer was on the main floor. At the end of the summer, Gonsalves moved into Redacted's room upstairs. Redacted said she heard from one of the girls. She had heard from one of the girls' friends. They went to Coeur d'Alene for a week, and when they returned, they noticed the rear sliding glass door was open. Redacted did not know the date of the incident. Sergeant Hoxie asked about drug use. Redacted said she never saw Gonsalves or Mogan do drugs. She said she wasn't sure about Kernodle. She said they probably had, but it wasn't anything that was prominent. Redacted said we should talk to some of Kernodle's friends and then name them. I asked if there was any other information she feels we should know or other people we should talk to. Redacted said we should speak with redacted, 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 and redacted. Okay. Okay. Ryan Hoxie. What page are we at? 41. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. How's everybody holding up? Hope you're all doing well. We're at an hour and 50. I'm going to do about 10 more minutes and then I'm going to shut it down for the day. I still have to go work later. Plus, I'm also doing a couple of other things that I have to do before work. So we got about 10 more minutes and then we're going to shut it down anyway. So hopefully you can stay for about 10 more minutes. We're almost done. So here we have Detective Ryan Hoxie. This is also November 18th, 2022. State Police Detective Pacina and Sergeant Hoxie conducted an interview with Redacted. The interview was in reference to the murders. Interview took place at the Idaho State Police District Office. Oh my God. I don't know why my highlighter keeps doing that. This is witness, individual, white male, 1999, age 23. Two homes, one in Moscow, one in Eagle, Idaho. Evidence collected is going to be Redacted's audio interview. So no video, just audio, apparently. November 18th, 2022, at approximately 11:34 a.m., Idaho State Police Detective Pacina and I conducted an interview with Redacted. The interview was in reference to the murder of Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, which occurred at 1122 King Road on November 13th. The interview took place at the Idaho State Police District 3 office, located in Meridian. Redacted reported the following during the interview. He lived at Redacted, Moscow, Idaho, while attending the University of Idaho. His house was across the street from where the homicide occurred. Across the street. He knew Kaylee Gonsalves since her freshman year at the university. Gonsalves also dated his friend, Redacted. Redacted and him were in blank fraternity together. Gonsalves was in Alpha Phi sorority, which was down the road from his fraternity. He wasn't extremely close to Gonsalves, but was friends with her. Redacted and Gonsalves had been dating since their sophomore year in high school. He thought they attended Lake City High School in Coeur d'Alene, and Jack and Gonsalves had been dating on and off for the last few months because Gonsalves was moving to Texas or North Carolina after the semester. He didn't think Jack wanted to break up with Gonsalves, but Jack was understanding. He thought Gonsalves initiated the breakup. There wasn't any turmoil in their relationship, and they were still talking and hanging out together. Gonsalves and Jack also had a dog together, which lived at his house last year. Redacted didn't talk to him about his relationship with Gonsalves. Redacted worked at the Redacted and the Redacted. He thought Redacted might have quit the Redacted. Okay. He also knew the other victims, Maddie and Xana. Konodal had gone over to his house a few times to see his roommate, Redacted, from last year, but Redacted transferred schools to Redacted. He didn't really talk to Mogan, but knew her by her first name. The other two girls, Bethany and Dylan, were younger, and he didn't really know them. He didn't know Ethan Chapin. His house was 3 stories where he lived with all of these other people. He and Redacted lived in the top floor of the house. He never noticed anything out of place near his house or the victim's house. On November 12th, 2020, the University of Idaho's football team was playing UC Davis at 4 p.m. He woke up that day, got some food, started tailgating for the game. After tailgating, he went home and then out to the bars. At approximately 11 p.m., he got to the corner club. While he was at the corner club, he saw Gonsalves, but couldn't remember if she was with anyone. At approximately 12:30 a.m., a sober member from his fraternity arrived to drive Redacted and him home. As they were leaving the corner club, they were pulled over for an expired registration. If I remember, someone got this body cam too. Someone has this body cam out there on YouTube, and you will see you can actually go watch that stop of these kids being pulled over for the bad registration. I feel like there is a body cam of that out there somewhere that I remember. I feel like. Meg P, darling, thank you. I appreciate you. Are you leaving, honey? I'm trying to watch my phone out of the corner of my eye while I'm also reading. Thank you, honey. If you gotta, go enjoy your day. If you gotta go, I appreciate you being here. Thank you, everyone, for modding. Key Fox, Meg P. I don't know who else is here. I appreciate all of you, though. I hope you have a happy Sunday. So as they're leaving the corner club, they were pulled over for an expired registration. The cops let them go, and he was driven home. Redacted got home about 30 minutes after him. At his house, he hung out and drank beers with Redacted and Redacted's girlfriend. After hanging out, he went to bed, which was early for him. He never heard anything of Gonsalves having a stalker until after her death. Until after her death is when this rumor allegedly started going around. Gonsalves worked at Redacted, where he heard she had a weird person coming in for her. He heard this information from Redacted. So there's this weird person coming in for her somewhere where she's working. He also heard from his girlfriend, Redacted, that Gonsalves had a weird guy following her around the Winco earlier that week. Earlier that week. It wasn't earlier that week. This information was from a third party. He wasn't aware of any of the victims using drugs. He and his roommates Redacted. I'm guessing smoke pot. And maybe it says like he and his roommates smoke weed or use marijuana, I guess. He never texted or called Gonsalves. He wasn't aware of any recent parties at the victim's house. He wanted us to know that Redacted heard a dog barking around 4 a.m., reported it to the police the following day after the incident. Redacted here did not have injuries to his hands, arms, or face. At 11:56 a.m. concluded the interview. Okay, so we got up to page 44 here. I'm going to stop sharing that. Come back over here. Yeah, Joe, right? I don't know, maybe still at Dutch Brothers. Yeah, you're right. We're almost at 2 hours. You guys know, once I hit that hour and a half, 2 hour mark, it's probably best if I get moving, you know? So we can chit chat for a few. What do you guys think about these reports so far? Probably going to shut it down in about 5 minutes or so, but I wanted to go through comments and I want to see what I have. How do I even get that? Where is it? Got to be a way for me to be able to see. If I do that, I just want to be able to get back up to like all the starred comments. I know I had some starred so that we could go through them. Show comments on stage. Yes, that's what I want to do. Can I make that bigger? No, not what I wanted to do. Oopsie. I know it's in here somewhere. Friends, sorry. Give me a minute. Where are all of my starred thingies? Lori, your eyesight's really bad, so you appreciate it. Oh, well, you're welcome, Lori. Yeah, I actually know a lot of people who prefer to have the docs read to them while they're doing other things. So you're very welcome. Rex, well, thank you. You rock. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I know, right? End of the line. I was talking to Lana about that the other day. I don't think they were as good of friends as everybody wanted us to believe, but that's just my opinion. But I tell you what, as we get further and further along, friends, just so you know, look at that. I figured out how to put the chat on screen, but it's still too small for me to even read it anyway. Figures. Meg P, thank you, honey. Appreciate you being here. P Fox, you know how much I appreciate you being here. I really do. I appreciate you guys modding for me. I hope you know you don't ever have to. I do it out of respect. You guys are OGs. You've been around from the beginning. Even Jen, where's my Gen 7? I sworn I made Jen a mod back in the day, but I'll have to go back and fix that. I know I had my little freak out and, went crazy there for a day or two and got rid of all my mods because I was being an asshole. But Kane B, holy shit, there you are. I didn't even see you here. Hi, Kane. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Dagburn, hello. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Moonvale, hello. Welcome on in if you're still here. I know I'm about to end it. Yeah, if you guys need to, go watch it on the replay. Be part of the replay crew. Feel free to comment on replay. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs it down, follow your heart. I miss you, Kane. Thanks, young black economist. Yeah, I do got to go to work later. I got a couple things to do around the house, and then I'm going to work at 4. So, but I hope you guys have an awesome day. Awesome. It's Sunday. Go enjoy your day. Do something fun. Get some sun. Be safe. Thank you, members. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. I can't find the thing. There's a little box somewhere where, like, you can star super chats. You can star people who've become members and things like that. You can star comments. There is a box somewhere here, and I can't find it. And if I could find it, I would be showing all of your little comments. So I appreciate you guys. If you sent a super sticker or a super chat and I'm not seeing it, I am so fucking sorry. I don't know where the box is. What in the world? Where did it go? I really don't know where the fuck it is. It's usually right up here. But now instead, what's there is that show comments on stage, which is now in the right-hand corner here. And now the other box is gone. So I don't know what I did. Thank you for your super stickers, your super chats. Appreciate you guys. I hope you have an awesome day. We'll see you soon. I'll try and do another live at some point tomorrow, and we'll blow through like another 25, 30 pages, hopefully. So see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.